Hey everybody, this is 12 questions about the Montreal Canadiens' Alex Romanov for the upcoming 2021-22 season. Leave any comments in the comment section. Please enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Now, I'm not crazy, I'm filming. Okay. Question 1. What part of Russia is Alex Romanov from?
I wanted Alex to be from some little town with a weird name that was going to be really hard to pronounce, and it just turns out that he is from Moscow, which isn't that difficult to pronounce, and I think everybody knows plenty about Moscow.
Moscow is situated in western Russia, close to the country's border with the Ukraine, Belarus, and Estonia.
Question 2. What are Alex Romanov's physical stats? Alex Romanov's physical stats are he is 6 foot and he's listed as 208 pounds. Now, again, like all the physicals, whenever I say this, is that those are numbers from before the last season. So at training camp this year, I think we'll find out if he's grown any, which is unlikely. He's 21 years old, or that he's gained a little bit of weight, and that can more than likely change. So I'm sure there'll be an update once training camp starts. Question 3. Is it true that Alex Romanov trains in the off-season with Tampa Bay's and former Hab Mikhail Sergachev, who is 24 and Romanov is 21? Yeah, so apparently it is true that Alex Romanov and Mikhail Sergachev trained together in the off-season. I'm not sure where it is. I imagine back in Russia. And I just found out about this. It's not unusual for players from different teams to train together in the off season, especially these days. Players grow up playing with so many other players in various places that it's not a surprise that guys on different teams, once they make it to the NHL, are friends with other guys, either for where they live in the off season or just where they grew up, and they train with them, and it's not unusual. I know here in Montreal, there's a lot of guys that train in the off season, local Montreal hockey players from all kinds of different teams, and yeah, so it is true. Alex Romanov and Mikhail Sergachev train together in the off season. Question 4. Okay, this is a 3-part question, so I'm going to ask it individually. Part A. Do you think Alex Romanov will play regular minutes on defense this season?
Absolutely. Last year in 56 games, he played in 54 games. He played a pretty regular shift, maybe not full 18 minutes, but he played a pretty regular shift. And I think, obviously, in his second season moving forward, we're going to see him probably play another minute or so a game and regular minutes without a doubt for Alex Romanov.
Question B. Who will be his line mate?
You know, I think it depends on I think that's pretty clear. Okay, I think it depends where he plays, right? If he plays on the left side on the third pairing, I think his line mate will be Chris Weidman on the right side. If he plays on the right side, I think it's going to be Brett Kulak, because I really think that's how it's going to end up. Him on the right, Kulak on the left. If he plays on the left and they move him up a line, I think he might play it. I think it's a possibility that he plays with David Savard. David Savard's a stay-at-home guy, and Romanov, not a pure puck-moving defenseman, but definitely can move the puck and gets involved in the offense. So I think that that's a possibility.
And question C, on which pairing will Alex play? I think Alex Romanov is going to play on the third pairing this year. I know a lot of people think that they'll have him up on the second pairing because he's a bit of a puck-moving defenseman, and we don't have a lot of puck movers on the team right now. But you know what? Being that it's his second season, They didn't play him a lot in the playoffs. I think we're going to see Romanov still taking a regular turn on the third pairing. I'm not sure who he's going to be, who he's going to line up with. It could be Chris Weidman because Weidman plays on the right side. And I think a lot of people would like to see Romanov slot in on his natural left side. So I think that could be a possibility. Otherwise, I think we're really going to see him on the right side on the third pairing with Kulak as his partner on the left side. So as far as I can tell, that is my opinion right now. Could change if there's any more information or any more player movement. They might bring in a puck mover by the time training camp starts or during camp. But for now, I think he's going to be a third pairing defenseman. I don't think anything's wrong with that. It's only his second season, and I think as he goes on, he's going to move up definitely. Question 5. What? You again? You woke me up again. So you want to ask me a question this time? Okay, what's the question?
Mwah, 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 mwah.
No, would I trade Alex Romanov to get the first or second line center that the Montreal Canadiens need? No, I think Alex Romanov for me is one of my untouchables, along with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. So no, I would rather look elsewhere to satisfy a team if we're trying to trade to get a number 1 or a number 2 center. Personally anyway, I'd rather try to develop the kids. I think we do have our number 1 and number 2 centers here on the team already. Yeah, they're young, they're inexperienced, and I get that. But I'd rather develop them than maybe make holes elsewhere by trading a guy like Romanov and maybe regretting it later on down the road. I'd rather develop these 2 young guys that we have here. It might not put us where we want to be for this season if they struggle a little bit, or being younger players, they might not produce the number of points you might expect for a number 1 or a number 2 right away. But I think I'd rather develop those guys than go around trading our young prospects, because I think they're still prospects. I'd rather satisfy any team that's looking to make a deal with. We got an abundance of wingers. We got some young defensemen that aren't here already on the team. We got prospects that way, and we have some real, some draft picks. I'd rather kind of do that than to move a guy like Alex Romanov. Can I go back to sleep now? Okay, Ray, come on. Come on now. Ray. Question 6. What former Habs player does Alex Romanov remind you of? The only player I can really think of that Alex Romanov reminds me of, and I think it's just because of the physical play, the big hits, is another Alex, Emelin. That same kind of big hit potential. Yeah, I was thinking for a long time, like, it's got to be a player like from the 70s but it doesn't trigger anything. The only guy I can think of is Alex Emelin. Question 7. Not you again? Well, what do you want this time?
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Well, okay, well, you're here, so you might as well ask me another question. Go ahead.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
What kind of point production can we expect to see from Alex Romanov this coming season? All right, let's see. In 54 games last season, Romanov had a goal and 5 assists for 6 points. He hasn't been known for his offensive production so far in his professional career. That includes in the KHL. I don't think that means that further on down the road in his career, he won't be a more offensive defenseman than he will be in his early years. So for next season, I'll be honest with you, I can see about 15 points. Remember, I think he's going to be playing on the third pairing. On the third pairing, I don't think there's going to be a ton of opportunity for him to get a ton of points. So I can see something like 4 goals and 11 assists. Now, that depends if he has a regular shift on the power play, Those numbers can go up a little bit, but I'm going to go in for about 15 points, 4 goals, 11 assists. That's about what I see for him next season. All right. Can I go to sleep now? Thank you. Question 8. What's the deal with Alex Romanov's Panda shirt?
If you remember when Romanov came over the very first time, that was not this past season, the one before, and he was with the team in the bubble for the playoffs. So if you remember that, when he came over, his girlfriend, who is now his wife, bought him this Panda shirt to wear on the airplane coming over. And then it became a big thing with the Panda shirt. And I don't think there's anything up more than, because I think I heard him say this, that, well, this my girlfriend gave it to me. Basically that he loves his girlfriend, who's now his wife, and he wore the shirt. And it's just that everybody made a big deal of it because we had been expecting Alex Romanov for so long. And then he finally got here. And I think that's the only thing with the Panda shirt. It's a funny story. If maybe it's not that funny. I don't know.
Ma Fangul, are you kidding me? You woke me up again. No. Leave me alone. Bye. Question 9. Does Alex Romanov have a... I don't know what I'm saying. Blooper file. Take 2. Does Alex Romanov have Russian hockey royalty in his family?
I did a video on Alex. I don't know exactly how long ago, and in that research, I was reading about how they consider his grandfather kind of Russian hockey royalty. His grandfather was, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Zinitula Bilyaledinov. Hopefully that's right. Was a longtime defenseman for the Moscow Dynamo. And that was from 1973 till 1991. And he was also a championship-winning coach, both nationally and internationally, and was the first ever coach to win the KHL's Gagarin Cup, which I think that's their Stanley Cup. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. He was also an assistant coach in Winnipeg with the Jets for 2 seasons and 1 season with the Arizona Coyotes.
Question 10. What side of the defense does Alex play?
I guess I kind of already answered that in the previous question, but he is listed as a left side and right side defenseman. So Alex Romanov can actually play both sides of the ice, and which is the reason why I said that I think if he plays with Kulak, he'll be on the right side. I don't know that they brought Chris Weidman in to play a regular role on defense. I think if he wins the job in training camp, that's a different story. But I don't think they brought him in thinking, yeah, he'll do that necessarily. So I think the option is, but he can play both sides of the ice. And I think that's a good thing. And it makes him very, I want to say flexible, if that's the right word. So, yeah, Alex Romanov plays both sides of the ice.
Ray, come on. Ray. Hey. Question 11. Do you think Romanov has top 2 potential?
I do think Alex does have top 2 potential. I don't think that he necessarily will play there, considering some of the guys that are in the pipeline. So down the road, it's a possibility that he won't be on the top 2, but I definitely see Alex Romanov in the top 4. I think without a doubt, he's a top 4 defenseman. So it depends how it shakes out with all the guys down the road, but I think definitely he has the potential to be on the top 2. Yeah.
Question 12. To the last question. Yay! Question number 12. Question number 12, and we're at the end. Take 2. Will Alex play on the power play?
Yeah, I think definitely he's going to be on the power play. I know in the last season that they had tried him as a power play quarterback on the second unit. I think they're going to actually try that again. I don't know if he'll strictly be the quarterback on that unit because I think KK might be on there, and I think there's a possibility that might have like two quarterbacks, two guys distributing the puck. But I do believe he'll be on the second power play unit, and what I think he does have a quarterback potential for that second unit down the road. I don't know if it'll be right away this year, but I know they tried him at it last season, and it was his rookie season, so I don't expect that just because they tried him at it last season, it didn't work out last season, that they won't do that again this year and keep trying until it works, really. So yeah, I do think he'll be on the power play, and I think there's potential that he'll be a second unit power play quarterback. There you go.